if the White Sox lose the division, I'd be the biggest mouth in this town.
So many fake tough guys. I'm tough. Let me be a tough guy, knock out a couple guys in spring training. I got married. The world is upside down. The number one bachelor in Chicago got married.
You know why the White Sox fans love me? Because I give my heart.
Oh, wow. That just got emotional. Wow. This could be the best episode of Being Guillén ever. Welcome back to Being Guillén. Ozzie Guillén Jr. here with the legend, Ozzie Guillén, and the little legend, Oney Guillén. Baseball started, it stopped. A lot of people got signed for a lot of money, but the free agent market was booming, especially here in Chicago with some crazy signings. But now we're in the lockout. We're going to talk lockout. We're going to talk about Hall of Fame voting. I don't even know if we're going to have enough time in today's episode, but just let's jump right into it. Free agents in the city of Chicago, Graveman in the pen, and the surprise signing, I think maybe of the past 2 years, especially in the north side of Chicago, Marcus Stroman is now a Cub for a nice coin. What are your guys' take on that?
Well, I believe right now, I don't think the Cubs, they know what to far away early in the season competing, but they have a pretty good division to compete. They might say, okay, let's do this and see how that go. If that don't work, you have a great piece to trade in the deadline. Trade deadline.
So that's something that I've been considered. He signed for 3 years, but at any moment, the no trade clause is not there. They can flip this kid any moment. I thought it was funny because he said, I'm here to win. I don't know that I would have, if I was the media, I would have replied, being a smart aleck that I am, name 5 people on your team, on your roster right now.
Okay,
Marcus,
let me
because there's nobody that you know.
That's what I keep saying. Media in Chicago, they're soft. Media,
I don't know if it's
all
soft.
You guys, yes, they are soft.
Maybe not soft, just weak.
I play here, I'm managing here, and there was against anything we say, anything they do. Okay, when somebody say, I come here to win, I say, excuse me, you check your rosters yet? No, they might win the division, but
that's not happening.
You're not going to say, oh,
they can sign 3 Marcus Stromans. Not happening because
so if they sign Correa, the first day of the lockout, let's say the lockout ends next week,
they're going to sell a lot
and Correa signs. Do you think they don't take the division?
Absolutely not.
No.
The Milwaukee Brewers will take that division next year, and the St. Louis Cardinals, who won 17 games in a row, will take that division. The Cubs, that's very good for their fans that they're actually trying. Stroman, if they sign Correa, I told you, I hope Correa signs with Chicago because that's good for the city.
Yes.
That means that it's a great building block, but they're very, very far away. And as far as the White Sox are concerned, I'm glad that they spent some money. The White Sox are second next year in payroll. They have a couple bad contracts on the books with Dallas Keuchel and Yasmani. Very, very high contracts. But do not say that the Sox haven't spent money. Maybe they haven't spent money in the right places, but they are second next year in 2022.
Well, they want right now
in the American League. They're going to be second next year.
You got to explain this though. So I didn't want to jump away from the Cubs.
Just don't say that they don't spend money
because we're going to talk about the White Sox in a moment. But talking about the White Sox real quick on that free agent. The White Sox have never been able to sign a $350 million guy because, 2, they never were able to get A-Rod because they lost to Texas. Okay, they did it with Albert Bell. Is because the White Sox have signed a lot of
they don't sell out.
No, middle of the road guys. When you start signing guys for 54,
but you can
75,
win. You can win with middle of the road guys. You can win if it's the right guys. You can win. Ask Tampa how they do it. Ask other teams how they do it. You don't. But they signed Corey Kluber for $8 million. That's a great risk and reward. But my point is that fans want Simeon or the Corey Seager.
So I'm going to talk about this. The White Sox though missed out, and I don't know what they're doing. I love the Simeon move because Marcus Simeon, okay, you're telling me that by you not signing Marcus Simeon is that Tim Anderson, when he comes off the worst contract in Major League Baseball history, okay, because he's basically playing for free at his talent level, that you're going to extend him and give him a Marcus Simeon type of deal. Because this is what I would have done. I signed Simeon, I compete with both of them for 2 to 3 years, and then if it doesn't pan out, I let Tim go to another team. Marcus moves to the short.
This is not 1997 or 98 that they signed Albert Bell for the record at that time. The White Sox have spent money. Yes, they have. Yasmani Grandal makes like $18 million. Dallas Keuchel makes $18 million.
No, Dallas makes 20, I think.
Okay, 20, and he wasn't even on the postseason roster.
Kill me.
But Sox fans don't go out there and say that your team hasn't spent money because they have.
They have.
They just gave a reliever a 3-year deal for $24 million.
A reliever. Talking about Graveman, I'm very happy that he got it.
Their bullpen.
He's not when Hendricks came over. You were signing the best pitcher on the market.
Their bullpen is legit.
No, I'm saying,
but now you have
Graveman going to be that? This has
because they have Graveman, Kimbrel, the reliever of the year, the Australian guy. Hendricks. They have a really good bullpen, and they have a spend.
But with Graveman,
I don't know.
But you didn't know who Graveman was until this year.
I saw him in the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying, though. So money-wise, I think it's a dangerous signing.
I worry about something. Why you keep build the bullpen when the bullpen last year fail? I watch every game. Fail. Why? Because I don't know the management, the right guys. Maybe the pitching coach is not ready to see it. The starter pitcher, your bullpen is always going to be great if your starting pitcher do the job. If they not do the job like they did it last year, they're going to fail once again. Jolito, Keiko, who else out there? Please help me.
Kopech is going to be in the rotation.
If you guys continue to pitch 4 innings, 3 innings, great job. Oh, they strike out 14 in two and a third. White Sox don't go anywhere. Those guys need to step it up and start pitching more than 5 innings. That's it.
So they have a big issue. Losing Rondon, when you look at the numbers for the year, he did a lot of the heavy lifting. Michael Kopech is probably the most electrifying pitcher that we've seen in a long time, maybe since Chris Sale. Here's where I'm worried about him. Innings pitched, okay? Going from pitching from the bullpen and having 68, 69 innings, 75 innings is not the same as pitching 100. Even if you go low, 135, 140 innings as a starter,
that's a lot.
It's a whole different ballgame. Another topic. Pick Baez for your MVP. I think Baez joining Miguel Cabrera is probably the scariest thing for anyone in the league.
Finally, if Baez, please, I don't want to see you again to be
JD Martinez effect.
Puerto Rican Adam Dunn.
Puerto Rican Adam Dunn. You're better than that, buddy, and you know that. First of all, when you listen to Miguel Cabrera,
that's it.
Listen to Miguel Cabrera, and you go to be.
I'm friends with Miguel. I texted Miguel, and he said, if this kid lets me get him under my wing, we're going to do a lot of things together.
Worst signings.
He's going to do a lot of things.
Worst signings for me were Simeon and Corey Seager going to Texas. Great job. No state income tax.
By the way,
get your money. That team is going nowhere.
Coming up on Being Guillén.
What would you do if you had a guy, a starting pitcher who makes 30 starts, makes $43 million?
It's easy. You got to pitch 9 innings every day, no matter what. I'm only going to care about that guy for 1 day.
Once a week.
Besides that, I don't care about him.
And he's picking up every tab possible.
Well, that's the easy way. That's easy to do
every tab possible.
This is all we needed.
Oh, let's go! We're taking the W and bringing it home. Trust me!
Let's go meet the family.
Tenemos un invitado fuera de este mundo.
De los Tampa Bay Rays y compadre Randy Arozarena. Un aplauso para
El día de hoy lo ha hecho como jugador, lo ha super hecho como manager.
Ese Carlos Gómez es muy bueno para los trompos. Y ándale, ándale. No más pregunta la maque.
¡Pero ¡ay! ¡La sacó la tequila!
I'm Julie Alexandria.
And I'm Jennifer Mercedes.
Between the two of us, we have over 2 decades of experience working in professional sports.
We're telling the stories of women who are at the top of their game in sports and business.
Whoever you are and however you come to the party, that is not only okay, but it's needed in the space. So if you want to come in here and I want to wear my Hope earrings and my red lipstick, guess what? I can still talk ball.
Welcome
to the locker room.
Welcome back to Being Guillén, but before we talk about the lockout, I want to ask Ozzie Guillén a couple questions about free agents because, again, our family has done very well because of Ozzie Guillén playing, but I always start to think and say, Ozzie, what if you had played this era and the money these shortstops are getting? What's your take on that?
Oh my God! First of all, a lot of home runs. Different baseball players.
So you don't know if you're making that.
I'm not even playing baseball. I might be in AA Mexican League for the rest of my life. But I don't know exactly what's my value right now because I might not have any. But in the meanwhile,
Anderson Simmons makes $10 million.
Yeah, God bless him.
So You would have been fine.
I want you to explain to them. So, like, when you talk to contracts with your agent, you always talk. I think this is the best story. You always say Cal Ripken. I love you, Cal Ripken.
Yeah.
Why? I want you to tell fans.
You know why? Because Cal Ripken signed for $8 million. Ozzie Guillén, the less he can get is $4 million. And every time we always be
Cal was your
but explain
bar.
I want you to explain
standard.
it because in your era, your comparison was Iron Man. So they would say if Cal plays 100, obviously he played every game. He's Iron Man. You'd have to play almost as many games.
I did.
Like 155.
I did. I played 161 games, 162 1 year. My average was 155.
So you would look at Cal. You would look at Cal and say, if Cal makes this, I need to make.
Yes, no, I know to make. I will make that.
Did you ever call Cal and say, "Hey, what are you going for?"
No, not really. I wish I could.
Say, Cal, don't go cheap. Go.
By the way, if Cal Ripken signed, it's right now it's like $250 million. Ozzie Guillén will make 100.
Cal Ripken would make $300 million.
Okay,
right
then
now.
Ozzie Guillén will make 100.
Yeah, I mean, honestly though, it's all about the league and how the market is. You were making great money at the time. Thank God that Cal, private school. Thank God that Cal was.
Thank you, Uncle Cal.
Thank you, Uncle Cal.
Yeah.
Cal was signing for good money back then, and obviously Ozzie said, if he's making this much, I need to make right below
You know
him.
what helped me too? I got here. We traded for Scott Fletcher, and when Scott Fletcher went, I was a shortstop. Then Scott Fletcher went to second base. Then we went to Texas to play shortstop
every day.
I
Did
said,
he
wait
get
a minute.
signed?
Yeah, I'd say, wait a minute. Scott Fletcher playing every day with Texas, and he was my second base. That means I'm better than what I think.
Ozzie's being his own age, and he goes, wait a minute, I'm not that bad.
No.
You're not going to jip me out of money.
I never go to talk about, I make good money. I know like players now, like, oh my God,
you're never greedy.
look at this guy making $100 million. I said, too bad we grew up in the wrong
What would you do?
era.
What would you do if you had a guy, a starting pitcher who makes 30 starts, makes $43 million?
It's easy. You got to pitch 9 innings every day, no matter what.
Mad Max, you got to go out there and pitch 9 innings.
You know why? Because I'm tired to see guys
about
making. But first of all, I will treat.
I don't think you care.
I'm going to talk about money. I'm going to talk about $43 million with the guy. I only going to care about that guy for 1 day.
Once a week.
Besides that, I don't care about him.
And he's picking up every tab possible.
Well, that's the easy way. That's easy to do.
Every tab possible, he's picking up.
Meanwhile, you have to treat the same players the same way, no matter they make $100 or they make $600,000. Why? Because when the guy's making $30 million, you worry about him when it's in the lineup.
I'm a huge fan of Max Scherzer.
Me too.
So I'm saying for you, do you even look at when guys were signing, did you ever even look at how much money they were making? Or were you like, I'm looking at personality?
I don't care at all. I care which the guy is going to help us to win. The guy is going to worry about us to win. This man is a warrior. He's a real, I don't call it bulldog.
He earned it. He earned it.
Yeah, but one thing, I worry about it, okay? He got traded to New York. And no, he got traded to the Dodgers. And on the song, he's not pitched in the last month of the season when they most need him.
The fatigue.
I will worry about that.
I'm gonna be honest.
I'm gonna that money.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on a limb and say this: Max Scherzer has Jacob deGrom in front of him. He will try to be better than deGrom.
I think that
they will compete.
I think that the Cy Young, if they're both healthy,
they will compete.
The Cy Young comes out of that team. They're both going to compete.
The Mets aren't going to lose because of their pitching.
We got to talk more free agent, but again, lockout. Okay, I got one question for the legend Ozzie Guillén. Lockout, 1984. You're a leader for the Latino players in Venezuela. Obviously, no cell phone. You're obviously in the beach. How did that whole communication thing happen? Tell me a story about how you guys dealt with lockout. Do you get a fax?
No, it's funny because we had to call it like conference call on the phone. Obviously, in my phone, going. But it's one thing about it. We listen to those guys. When I went to Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, obviously Venezuela, and Panama to represent the Latino players. Wow. And I remember one time, one of the players, and I'm going to say the name, he said, "Oh, I just buy me a new house." The guy would turn around, Tony Bernard, and say, "I buy you what?" I said, "You dumb." I told you. We told you don't get anything because you're not gonna.
So you guys were pre-warned.
Yeah, pre-warned, big time. That's why we save money. But then the best thing about it, they teach us how to love, to stay together, and love each other, and make sure we lose a lot of money. People was upset, but we stay in the same program all the way to the end.
Lost money. That's Fred.
That's why Ozzie Jr. didn't get braces in '95 because of the strike.
By the way, let me tell you one thing about it. The difference between then and now. Then the player was making $8 million, the top. Right now they're making 40. Okay, one player goes say what? I ain't losing $40 million because that's one thing.
We're playing.
I don't know the union is that tight, that together.
Like it was before.
It was in 1994.
Donald Fear.
By the way, we save money every month.
You guys are putting money away.
So much money, we put like $25 every paycheck.
On the strike camp.
Like, okay, here's my $25. With the strike camp, we ready for that. Big mistake by the front office people, the owners. They let players go and play. And they could have shut down anytime they want to. You know what they did? They collect Moses' money. They went to in August. That means they collect money from April all the way to
ticket
September.
Prices, us the fans.
No, by the way, the players make most of their money.
Yeah.
Then boom, gone. Big mistake we made because one thing about it, bring the fans back.
Fans were mad.
They should.
90, I remember 95. 95 was rough.
My biggest fear right now is the fans.
Because the players thought we was greedy.
Don't turn them off.
I'm worried about the lockout because you're saying right now, 1994, the owners and the players did not think about the fans. And you're worried about now is that the fans are going to get hurt again.
No, I don't think so. They have plenty time to resolve this problem.
I hope so.
But owners have something about it. Say, hey, we spend money the way they did. Look at how many free agents we signed in next billions of dollars. They're going to make the players look good. My concern or my thought was, is the player, they strong enough, they together to say, nope, we're not playing.
Scabs.
That's it. That's basically why? Because is that what
Scherzer? You're playing.
Cap. I'm playing. I ain't going to leave my... Why? Because the player, listen, I went to 2. Players in this day don't care how much money I lost or how much money Don Baylor lost, Dave Winfield lost, Cal Ripken lost. They don't care. They made more money. And we went through it. Okay? Players play. You know why? Because guys behind you, they don't give a crap about you guys and your family. Don't let the money out there. Let's go and play and make the fans happy.
I think that's my biggest fear. There's such a big gap. I just hope that they come to an agreement because, again, I'm selfish. I love the game of baseball. I want to see this. And again, another no season is a no-go. Coming up on Being Guillén.
If you were a voter, Barry Bonds.
Yes.
Yes.
Sammy Sosa.
Yes.
Clemens.
Yes.
Big Papi.
I don't know. That's what I say.
I need to look at Big Papi's numbers.
I love Big Papi.
He was a DH. He's a great guy, but I can't say yes when all you did was just hit.
Believe it or not, I'm hungry.
That's the Dominican Fat Joe.
You know, a good man, when he does something for somebody that can't do nothing for him.
Gloria Estefan.
No, it's possible.
Looking for the best gifts this holiday season? Head to the La Vida Baseball shop on teambrownaparel.com, where you can create personalized gear that will let your loved ones rep their heritage and style.
Welcome back to Being Guillén, and one of the hardest topics, especially in the world of social media, is the one of Hall of Fame balloting voting. I actually considered voting on the show, everyone having their own ballot eventually, and then showing like a Being Guillén ballot where we all agree. But it's so hard because we are going from people being judged because of their political views, okay? People being judged because of what they did off the field. People being judged because they're rumored of using steroids or we think that they did, but it's a really hard ballot because this ballot could be called the controversial ballot. The list of players that they go from steroids to political comments
to domestic violence.
To domestic violence. And again, I have a lot of friends on the ballot and it's very hard, but there's names that you see in there of very good players, but the Hall of Fame is a very hard place to make. I'm gonna start off with the Mark Buehrle one before I ask you the question. Is people ask me all the time, is Mark Buehrle Hall of Famer? In my eyes, in my world, Mark Buehrle is a Hall of Famer through and through 100 million times. But when I look and compare him to the greats, it's hard for me to say yes because I need to do an analysis. Maybe not today, but maybe in 10 years I say, you know what? Mark Buehrle was a Hall of Famer because look at his comparison quality starts. But there's so many guys on the list. Who is going to make this Hall of Fame and who is not going to make this Hall of Fame?
Listen, it's very, I look at it two ways. Steroids were a part of baseball history. I think that Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Gary Sheffield, Sammy Sosa, I feel like either let them in and have a wing because it is part of baseball. Either you get a wing and say this was a steroid era, or you let none of them in. But if you let none of them in, there's no way you can justify voting for Barry and not voting for Clemens. Big Papi was in the Mitchell report. He's probably going to get in as a first ballot Hall of Famer.
You know why? Because people love him.
Because he's on Fox.
No, because the media love him.
Yeah.
It's how the people vote. Those idiots vote for those guys. They don't know anything. They wish there was.
By the way, two blank ballots already. So what is the point of that?
No, because I'm going to tell the media. I don't leave. I'm part of the media right now. You guys, you guys who very hypocrite persons. All you guys, very hypocrites. Listen to what I say, hypocrites. Because when you got to start it, look at who's there in the past and look at who's there now. You got to tell me in the era of baseball, any players they are in the Hall of Fame right now, they never cheat on anything. Taking aspirin, Corbat, anything off the field stuff. Then you're looking very careful about everyone. Somebody make a mistake, okay? So you talk about the best player in the history of the game, Mr. Barry Bonds. Not offensive Barry, not offensive Barry.
But he is.
But you cannot take it. You talk about Mr. Pete Rose. Pete Rose is a Hall of Fame. I want Pete Rose to take all my stuff out of Hall of Fame. Okay, Hall of Fame in 10 more years, they're going to bring guys with 200 home runs, 30. You know why? Because
there's no one.
That long. Hall of Fame in 10 more years, 20 more years, they're going to get hurt. Why? Because now they're going to confuse. No player's going to hit 500 home runs, 3,000 hits. They're going to win 300 games.
I'm going to go off the limb and go something wild. If I was a very, 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 very rich man, Hall of Fames are places that are built by rich individuals to build a wing and have other people come and see plaques.
Yeah, memorabilia.
Memorabilia, okay? If I was a player in this era,
you build your own
I
wing?
build my own Hall of Fame and make it a way better marketable place. I put a thing for Latino players. I make the Hall of Fame.
Okay,
Hall of Fame.
right now, if you were a voter, Barry Bonds.
Yes.
Yes.
Sammy Sosa.
Yes.
Clemens.
Yes.
Big Papi.
I don't know.
Before we go there, and the reason people are going to say, why not Big Papi? I need to look at Big Papi.
That's what I say.
I need to look at Big Papi's numbers.
I love Big Papi.
He was a DH. He's a great guy, but I can't say yes when all that you did was just hit. The other guys that you mentioned, Barry Bonds was a 3-time MVP.
Wait a minute.
Before he ever put his uniform on with the Giants.
Wait a minute.
There's guys in the Hall of Fame that are not even MVP one time.
By the way, no, you're talking about DHing? No, you're wrong. Huh? You're wrong.
No.
You know why? Harold Baines.
I know.
The last 3 or 4.
Yeah, but you know how long it took Harold Baines to get in?
30 years.
You know how long it took Edgar Martinez to get in?
Yeah, that's what I said.
I'm saying first ballot.
He's not a first ballot.
Who's that first ballot?
David Ortiz.
Hell no.
He is not.
Writers sit in their high and mighty chair pointing at players for what they've done personally. Look at yourself in the mirror and say if you're if you cover all the criteria. Number 2, the game has changed. They should let other people maybe get in the voting. Nowadays, I know more information than the people that are inside that are writing, that are in the press box. There's a kid in the basement.
It is a very
way different.
It is a very old and antique process.
I'm gonna go to the Hall of Fame with Oso, and we're gonna walk through, and I'm gonna show him Frank, and I'm gonna show him Louis, and then he's gonna say, Daddy, how about why that guy Barry Bonds not there that's supposed to be there? I'm gonna say, son, he is the greatest player of all, but they didn't put him in here because of whatever reason. But But I'm still gonna tell my son about you cannot erase history. They're not gonna get erased forever. This is not like the lockout right now where you go on the player's webpage, on the team's webpage, and you see a blank face. You couldn't erase Pete Rose. You couldn't erase Pete Rose. You couldn't erase the 8 men out. You cannot erase history, so we're going to know what those players did.
I have a question. That's easy. How about the bang, 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 bang team?
Oh, bangy, bangy.
Okay. Altuve should be Hall of Fame.
You think Correa you think Correa cares that he was a part of the bang?
No, that's not about money. That's not about money. People, if you don't want to tell the truth, yes, I love my rings. I do. But I will trade that ring
for $300 million.
For $300 million?
Yes, you would.
Here it is. Take my ring. Ring not take your kid to school.
No, it's funny.
Money does.
No, it does. Public school.
By the way, it's funny though. You mentioned that. So I used to be a huge boo guy. Boo. And after being in the playoffs with the Astros and talking to guys on the Astros and stuff, I said, I'm never booing them again. Why? It's stupid. You're like, boo. And they're like, I'm rich and I got paid.
Yeah.
Boo. Marcus Stroman, I'm never going to play for this type of guy, political views and all that. I'm like, go check Tom Ricketts' political affiliations. You still took that $100 million.
It's all about money,
said,
brother.
You're a hypocrite until you get the money. So again, Hall of Fame ballot voting. We're gonna do it. Let us know.
Be like that every year.
No, but let us know though, because I really want to see a ballot. If we all got to pick a ballot, and then if we had like a Being Guillén ballot. But I'm gonna say this though: if you're a writer, do not send in blank ballots.
Already 2 ballots
because there's
blank.
people on those. Vote for Mark Burley. Vote for guys that deserve them. That you
Andrew
think
Jones,
anybody. If you don't think that you're gonna tell me there's guys on the ballot like Torrey Hunter that don't deserve a vote, you're a loser for leaving your ballot blank. Ozzie Guillén Jr. said that.
By the way, who are those guys?
I have no idea.
Who are those guys? They can't even.
Probably your buddy Juan.
They're still writing in with a pen because they cannot use a computer.
Again, the steroid thing is very sensitive, but if you look in the mirror and you say,
if you did steroids, you would have made that extra $4 million.
By the way, if they told me, hey, I'm against that 100%, but in those days you told me you're going to make $100 million and you get shot, my white butt be out like this.
By the way,
I got a picture I got to show you this week when I was in steroids. I was like this, like, oh God, hey. Oh God!
By the way, it's not just steroids; it's anything.
I was stupid to use it.
Just thank you so much for watching Being Guillén. Let us know what you think. I know it's a controversial topic. We're gonna be here. We're gonna keep talking about it and making it uncomfortable for you talking about baseball.